Hello everyone, and welcome to our sixth installment of Tango Kilo Sierra. We're out here at the Congaree Battle Swamp today. We're going to walk it, show you some old skirmishes and cool things that are still there from back when the battle happened there during the Civil War. Then we're going to walk Old State. Old State's one of the most historical roads in the entire Southeast. We're going to show you some cool things, get some good footage, and tell you some cool information about it. And we're not camping this time because I am in the process of moving. So, but we will be back to our regular scheduled programming come next video. Come along. (1748 to 1756). That's pre the establishment of the Constitution that made the United States of America. People were out here with bases and pretty much anything ready to take on whatever came their way. And what we're about to walk you through is 150 years old, and there's still remnants of some of the holes that they dug to protect themselves from enemy fire and stuff like that. We're going to get back there, and I'm going to explain to you some of the holes that they dug that the military still uses to this day. I've dug myself when I was in the Marine Corps, and find a couple more cool plaques like this and get y'all some good information about the Congaree Battle Swamp.
Perfect. Let me get a few shots of these.
Yeah, they both weigh the same. Where we're about to walk now is pretty much the entrance to where the Battle Swamp was dug in and skirmished, waiting on General Sherman to march through here on his way to Columbia. And then there's a bridge on Old State we're going to show you that the Confederates tried to burn when he went marching up Old State, which we're going to walk down. They were unsuccessful. The Union soldiers put the bridge out and still crossed it anyway. So that's a pretty crazy little tidbit of history. There she is. So that little map that you've seen of where the fort was originally built off of the Congaree Creek here, it was originally owned by Cherokees. Native Americans coincided with us and let us build that giant fort on their land that helped us out a lot in the Civil War. We're going to continue on down. You can see where it started, where there's a lot of holes dug out here and trenches and various things that could stop people from hitting you with their musket balls that they used to shoot out of their big muskets and whatnot back in the late 1800s and 1700s when people were battling out here. Because I'm pretty sure there was even a battle out here during the Revolutionary War. We'll have to move on down, read a couple more plaques, and we'll find out that information. It's really cool the things that people just kind of left on the ground for us to find 150 years later. Those particular artifacts there that had been found here at the very front of where the original Fort Congaree was. As you can see, they've got different little markers that mark where they found things. The little green post with the red top there, that's a marker for where they dug up some of these artifacts that they found and are at the Confederacy Museum that's around here and or the regular museums around town. There's multiple different little trenches and stuff you could tell was built for, utilizing the latrine and, being able to sleep throughout the night because most forts were very small at that point in time, and they didn't have the room for full barracks and places for all of the soldiers that had to serve there to sleep and everything. So a lot of soldiers had to dig holes and just sleep in them, which I had to do when I was in the Marine Corps. Infantry, just like the people that used to be here. They were infantry also. So that's pretty cool. So this right here was pretty much like a big personnel pit. or when the advancing Union troops and or British was coming towards Columbia from that direction, you'd be below their visibility line. So they dug this hole really deep to where they could have the personnel out here and you couldn't see from that side. Right here through these woods, down this awesome little creek bed, is the Congaree Creek that they had built that fort off of back earlier in the video. That's the first place that you can actually see the creek out here. So, pretty cool. Post-Revolutionary War, everybody thinks that the British just kind of, just moved on, just let us have it. That's not how it worked. There was, just like this plaque says, the Eggleston Raid. That was one of the very first big battles that happened out here post-Revolutionary War, but still with the British, where they tried to retake this area because this area was prime real estate. It's hard to maneuver. It's hard for people to get to you because you've got a creek and a swamp on the other side of this tree line. But it's pretty crazy to know and to learn that the British forces' efforts were still continuing on after the Revolutionary War had ended. To a good video. And that brings us to the most exciting part and my favorite part of this video, and that's Old State Road. This road was the very first road that led from Charleston to Columbia, and it was originally a trading route that was used by the Cherokee Indians that had settled this land that ran from Charleston to Columbia. And it was used during the Revolutionary War. George Washington himself rode his horse down this road. I used to come out here when I was a kid, because I'm an alumni of Brooklyn Casey High School down there. And we'd drive up and down this road. Now it's been turned into a river walk, which is pretty awesome because we could still use it to recreate, and you can see the reminiscences of the old homesteads and just them genuinely taking care of this road because it was such an important part of the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, our battle with the Indians as we were coming to own this land. So we're going to take you down this road. We're going to walk it a little bit at night so that we could get you some spooky type video, because this road right here, I can't even tell you the amount of people that's lived and died on it. So maybe we'll see a ghost, maybe we won't, but we're still going to have some fun. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the bridge that the Confederates tried to burn. Not the original bridge, of course, because that bridge was busted down and this was put here years ago. But that the Confederates tried to burn to keep General Sherman from marching into Columbia. Like I said, they're ultimately unsuccessful, and Union troops still crossed the bridge anyway after killing about 1,500 Confederate soldiers down just this 3-mile stretch of road. So this bridge in this little area here is pretty historic. There's also a story. Somebody hung themselves from this bridge, and it's a folklore thing, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that it's completely true, but when I was a kid in high school, people would tell us stories about if you stopped your car out here, honked the horn 3 times and got out, you were supposed to be able to see a ghost that had red eyes at the end of the bridge. I never did, but still a pretty cool little folklore story to pass on through the generations. Harvesting timber right now. This used to be a big old patch of woods last time I was out here, making their money off of their lumber. Man, this looks different without all those trees over there. That's somebody's own land right there. They owned it, harvested it for its lumber. Make for some good hunting land though, huh? Man, this place has changed a good bit. As you can hear, we have I-77 running right above us right now. Big old tall bridges here. It runs right over we're about a mile down Old State right now. We got about 2 more miles to walk before we get to our found destination and walk back towards the truck. Wow, look at all the trees they've cleared out here. This right here, you couldn't even see. That's Casey over there. You couldn't even see through this wooded area. They've cut back trees big time out here. We should make good for good moonlight as we make our night hike back. Pretty excited. Seems like as good a spot as any to sit down and crack a beer and hang out for a minute. We've done walked about 1.5 miles. We're not trying to do it too quick because we are trying to be out here at night so we can show you how spooky Old State can be. And I saw like some light orbs and stuff up in the trees when I came out here with my friends when I was in high school. So we'll see if we can see that. And then we have a little treat at the end of this road for you that's pretty historic and dang near the spookiest thing that's happened on this road, almost. And we have a couple more stories for you. I'd like to take this time to tell you that we appreciate everything that y'all do for us as far as liking and subscribing and sharing our videos. Please keep that up. We have our link to our PayPal in the description, our little gear fund. If y'all guys would like to see us have some better gear and, go to some more places that are further away, just, if you could find it in your heart, go ahead and donate, and that money will go towards a good cause of keeping us warm in the winter and helping us find cool places like this to keep putting content out for you guys at. If not, that's okay too, because we're going to keep doing it either way. But we appreciate it either way. So what we have here is our air traffic control center. That means we're about halfway down Old State, and we done hit about the 1.5 mile point. So we took a little break back there. We got a good little track to go. Thankfully, it's mostly flat out here. But I'd just like to point out one more thing. You see how these trees line this road right here? That's not natural. That means back in the crazy old days, because that's a giant tree right there, somebody had to plant these out here. So somebody had to live on this land. That interstate wasn't even built. The interstate wasn't even built in America until the 50s. I don't think that one was built until, I think maybe the late 80s, early 90s, something like that. So people would have definitely have had homesteads and stuff out here, lived and died. Look at the barbed wire over there on the ground from the old gates that used to be up here. It's really surreal to think about the generations that had to have spent their lives out here, their whole entire lives. But what beautifuler of a place to do so. Alright, so as you can see through the trees, the sun is starting to go down, which is gonna make for a spooky night out here on Old State Road 1 week before Halloween. So hopefully we see some paranormal activities and some cool stuff. I ain't scared though. We'll make it to the end here, show you this nice little church and its historic little graveyard that's next to it. And then we'll trek on back towards the truck, cook a little bit of food, and then make it on home. So back when I was a kid, we would try to be smart, not fight in school because you get in a lot of trouble. We'd come out here and duke it out or hang out. Mostly do things we weren't supposed to do. As you can see in this little pool of water here, just a straight mosquito breeding pool. There are tires upon tires where people used to just probably park here, change their tire out, and launch it into the little pond that used to be right there. The memories on Old State. Last time I walked Old State was with Zoe like 2 years ago. Like end to end. Oh, these giant slag rocks out here. That's definitely put out here by a freaking truck that drops gravel. That's so you can gain traction out here when it's raining. They probably threw that down in the middle of the road so the trucks could get over the middle of the road. That is stanky looking. Definitely wouldn't want to take your family swimming in there. That's eroded out a lot. We got a lot of rain this season, this past spring and summer, so a lot of the bank has fallen down in there since the last time I was out here. Still smells about as awful as it gets. Somebody's old beer cooler. Look, that is a raccoon print right there in the mud. So, if I'm not mistaken, this is either gas pipes and or water lines. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's pretty cool that it's just off the back road here because there's really nothing around here. Nobody's house, all of the homesteads have long moved off this road. This road's closed like since around 2014, 15. So it's pretty cool that that's here, but I'm super curious on why. Well, that confirms it. Natural gas pipeline. That's pretty cool. This road, we've been walking a good, probably good buddy, 25, 30 minutes. We've still
Something
yet
like that.
to reach our final destination, but you can see a good mile at least down the road. And it's a fun little walk, other than the big giant gravel they put out here to come and log this, which is insane. I think logging is as bad as littering, but that's just a personal, little tidbit. But we're going to keep going, and hopefully we get there before our light leaves us, because you can see that the sun is going down. But like I said, here at Tango Kilo Sierra, we are not scared. We're going to get you some good footage. Come with me. Somebody lives over there. All right, so we have now reached the end of the Walk of Old State. Good job, good buddy. 3 whole miles here, 3 whole miles back. But man, am I glad we made it. Towards the end of this road is a spooky old church. We're gonna cross this fence here. We're gonna see if we can go and mess around over there before the light averts us. And we're gonna go try to show you this super ancient graveyard that's behind this old church back here. I haven't been there in a few years, so hopefully we can still make it back there. You go that way, there's a factory. See all the factory lights back up in there? The big power grid right there. And then see St. John's Church right there on the sign. St. John's Baptist Church. That's where we're headed. Gonna make it on down the road. See the lights averting us. Now, I think the church is at this bend down here. Been walking for about 3.5, 5 minutes. So it's past the end of Old State a little way, but it's only the end of the walkway of Old State. Old State still runs for a good, probably another 2 miles after this. But this is the drivable part that you can still get on. But had a great time walking it. Dread the walk back, but we'll make it. So, the cemetery that we're about to take you into has some unmarked graves from when other people had owned this church. The church grounds that we stand on right now used to be a church where Satanism was practiced, and there was like racist people who were in the church. And that church was burnt about 1957, 1958, and it was rebuilt into this church. Has the same name, just people worshiping Jesus instead of the devil. So we're going to take you back here. There's some unmarked graves to show you. Those will probably be the oldest. See this little graveyard back here? Here is a marker for one person's grave. Here's a marker for another. And another. And another. That one's marked with a cinder block, so I don't know how old that one might be. This one has a little manuscript here. This person passed in 1943, 1952 to 77, and she was born 43, and I don't think she's been buried yet. So that's a couple of people. Let's look that way. A couple people have been buried out here. We got this here, which I don't know what that represents. That might just be an old pole stamp. We have here 1861 to 1941. Miss Elizabeth. May she rest in peace. Super spooky. Alright, let's see what this one says. Right here. James Harris, U.S. Army, Private, U.S. Army, World War I. Born December 25th of 1884. Died February 13th of 1977. So, wait. 1917, sorry. Alright. No, that's 1973, ain't it?
1973, yeah.
Yeah. 1884 to 1973. May you rest in peace, buddy. Something that we do as military people is you always leave a coin behind for anyone who served and is now deceased. We'll move along here. Come over here to these more broken, older looking graves here. Estelle D. Simmons. Look behind me, Casey. So another unmarked. Something with a little plaque for its name. Come over here. She was 47 to 01. And I think these back here might be modern because of the way that their headstones look. Yeah, 78 to 06. 32 to 2009. Pretty incredible. Alright, so we're not supposed to be here, so what we're going to do is we're going to get our gear back on us and we're going to walk back down Old State, and then we'll do the next segment of our video. Damn, you're fine.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
All right, everybody. Made it back down to this pump. That means that we've probably got about another 2 miles to go. It's been a good walk. A little spooky because, as you can see, it's about as pitch black as it could get out here. Ain't seen no moon yet, but we'll keep on trucking and we'll see you at the interstate. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we made it back to the Air Traffic Control Center. It's taken us about 30 minutes this time, but as you can hear, I-77's just a football field or two away. We're going to keep stepping it out and we'll get back to the truck. Well, we reached the end of Allstate. 3 miles there, 3 miles back. Now we got about another quarter mile to walk back to the truck. And yeah, we'll see you there. Good walk. Good walk. Painful. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that'll conclude our 6th installment of Tango Kilo Sierra. Thank you for tuning in. We're gonna get in the truck and head home. I'm sure my buddy's gonna be filming this in the morning. We'll find another great place and we'll see you next time.